Hello and welcome to Gordita on a Mission with your host, Teresa Tisa Betran. I know that I used things before on here, but I don't remember what I used because it's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Well, guess what? Your little host here seems to always be getting sick. Reasoning B, I have a bad body. So, oh man, I should have picked up all this shit before I fucking started recording. I'm currently putting stuff on my shelf because I just went to the Goodwill after I went to my doctor's appointment and bought some DVDs because streaming, oh shit, streaming, they don't really have what I want to watch, and when they do, they don't pay for the price for the music, so then it's not the music, and it sounds ridiculous. So I have my movies in storage currently, and we're in the process of closing storage. Hopefully by the end of this month, because it's getting to be too much. At least for one of the storage units, we had 3 storage units. Now we're down to 2. One of them is my sister's, and the other one is mine and my father's stuff. And I'm going to be out of breath because I'm moving things real quick. If you haven't been around or you don't know, my father passed away in October, so things have been a little weird in life, and we've been processing it. And when someone passes away, you don't get over it right away, and you deal with it, and you work with it, and you go to therapy if you want to, or not. And I've been going to therapy. Per usual. I need to find my inhaler, dude. I went to a concert and have it in a little magic bag. There it is. A little see-through bag. My doctor. Okay, so let's talk about that. There's my pass. My doctor. I went to urgent care last week because I was feeling like Dookie. Duke. I'm just going to make a little... So, I felt like a poop. And I went to urgent care. First, okay, so this is how it started. So this is all about being healthy. This is taking me a long time to just clean this shit off my... I can't even breathe. My doctor was like, "You're wheezy." And I was like, "I know. I have asthma and I'm sick." So let's get it on. Now that I'm done moving shit around and sitting in my bed. Alright. One moment while I take an inhaler. Alright, I took one hit. Well, one hit. One hit wonder. And I feel just that one hit makes me feel better. So, what happened was last week I was doing this thing. It was called 30 albums in 30 days. Some people just do a walk to one album. Other people, like myself, adjusted it. I switched it to 30 albums in 30 days. And what I do is work out to the entirety of the album. First, I was doing the gym and doing a walk, getting myself back into walking. And I did really good. I did 3 days of walking. And then I had to babysit my nephews. And what I did then was I took them to the park 2 days in a row. First day I felt a little scratchy in my throat, and I was like, oh, it's just allergies because I'm not really out in public anymore. So then I was like, okay, whatever. So then the next day I really overdid it. We were hardcore exercising. I was out there probably for a couple hours, and we were playing hard. We went to Goodwill and I bought some tennis rackets, and then I went to Five Below and bought some tennis balls. Also bought some boomerangs at Goodwill. And then I had my basketball, and we had kites. The first day we did kites. The next day we did physical activity, like hardcore. And so and then I felt like I overdid it because I was heat stroke, felt like I was gonna puke. Went home, and luckily it was a holiday the next day. I felt like shit. I slept, and then I woke up and I was like, well, I still need to exercise because I was still on my fucking I need to exercise, even though I was feeling like shit. So I went and I did a walk around the um, American Furniture that we went to because my mom was purchasing some new shit. I was supposed to take the old things to my friend. Son of a bitch! Why don't I remember these things? But anyhow, I first, oh yeah, my back went out that day, so I took an ibuprofen, 800 milligram ibuprofen that the doctor gave me from a couple months ago when my back was all jacked up. And then I had my mom put some BioFreeze on my back, and then after an hour of just laying down on my side, it felt better. So then I walked around the place, and then I was like, okay, I got my exercise an hour, but I did light walking, and then I went to work the next day because it was Tuesday, and then my voice was going away, and I was just taking some warm drinks. I was taking my hot tea and my coffee and just trying to make it better and to get through the day. I got through the day, but my voice just started to just go away, and I started feeling like shit. Called out of work the next day. Next day, I just slept and slept and slept. No, that day I went to the fucking doctor and I told them everything that was going on because I knew I had to have a doctor's note. And so I went to the doctor. The doctor prescribed me a Z-Pack. And then, I think that was it. No, and some benzoate or something like that for coughing. And then I, took a couple days off and then went back no, I called out of work for Friday too because I was still feeling like shit. I was like, I need one more day. My voice was shot. All last week, my voice was gone. And I took the weekend off. I was still not feeling very well, and I was like, well, I have to fucking go to work Monday. Um, Saturday, I pretty much did homework and chilled out because Sunday was a big day for me because we went to the game. We went to the Mercury game, and then I went to the Avril Lavigne concert. I'm still feeling like shit. I've been sleeping horribly because Sunday night I was coughing and I stayed up all night. Well, I woke up because I was coughing so hard and I couldn't sleep, and I woke up early to try to see the aligning of the planets. I was a little bit too late. It was too dark, too sunny out by the time I got out there. I slept for a little bit longer and I went to work. Still, my voice wasn't feeling good. I still feel like poopy shit. So I called the doctor after I got off work yesterday and set an appointment for today. And then I went to bed last night at 7 o'clock because I just feel horrible. So I'm glad I kept the doctor's appointment today because I was like, oh, I'm feeling better. But then my voice started going away, and then I'm still feeling like shit. And I am just winded. And so last week I had an upper respiratory infection and an ear infection. I didn't even know my ear was hurting, but she looked and I didn't know my ear was bad because it didn't hurt. She was like, "Ooh, that looks bad." So the doctor today checked my lungs and said they're better than they were. She guesses because she didn't see me. I went to urgent care, and then she looked at my ears and she said, "There's nothing wrong there." She checked my throat. She's like, "Well, you're having postnasal drip going into the back of your throat. That's why your voice is going away. That's why you're coughing." And I'm like, she's like, "You're a little wheezy." And I was like, "I have asthma." And she's like, "Oh, that's probably why." She's like, "Do you use inhaler?" I said, "Yeah." So she prescribed me this medication for coughing. She said you could use the benzoate or whatever the fuck it's called with the cough syrup. And then you can take them together. And she's like, if you want to sleep really good and you're having a horrible cough and you just want to get through the night, she said you can take a double dose. You'll sleep really good, so just make sure that you get enough time in so that you have enough time to wake up. And I was like, okay. But I slept so good last night, like forever. It felt so good. I woke up this morning. I was like, let's get it on, job. But I missed work or school yesterday, and so I got uh, a note from my teacher, and for work, but I told her it's not going to matter. I said I can't miss work, so I have to go to work. And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Because they do a point system." I said, "I've never worked at a company that has done this before, but they have this point system that if you don't have a doctor's or the doctor's note doesn't matter as long as you have sick time, it is covered. But if you are so the sick time is covered, and then if you don't have any more sick time, then you have to use uh, vacation time. So then if you don't have vacation time, then you have to fucking um for vacation time you have to take points. And I was like, and I don't want to do that because so you get a certain amount of points, you get a certain amount of occurrences, and they fire you. I was like, I really don't want to do that. And I was like, so I have to go to work. I said, but I work from home because it's covered by the ADA because I apparently having some issues with working in public with my all my illnesses that I have. And I'm working really hard to get past these illnesses so that I can be a normal functioning human. Who knows if that's going to happen, but that's what my goal is. So I have some goals in life. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this medication that she prescribed me is going to fix this. I thought she was going to prescribe me some steroids because she was like, don't mind taking steroids? And I was like, I'll do whatever I can to feel better. So afterwards I went to Goodwill and like I was so out of breath. She said my doctor said that my blood pressure was a little high, but it's because I'm sick and I'm out of it. I'm very irritated with it. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm very irritated with it. So with with that little exercising that I was doing, I did lose 3 pounds and I've kept it off. I'm going to weigh myself in the morning to see what it is. Uh, I'm excited to see what it is because I haven't exercised in a week because I've been sick for a fucking week. I tell you, once I start exercising, something always happens to fucking shoot me down, and then I'm like, why can't I get this done? Why can't I fucking feel better? Why can't I get life? But my body, I'm hoping it'll eventually be to let me do the things that I want to do. I'm working really hard to be able to do things again, and I'm working towards a lot of goals that I have. So, anyhow, that's what's going on with Chingona, with this gordita. This gordita's trying to get less gordita. I'm working really hard, changing my diet and like doing the counting calories thing per usual. Today I did not eat very well though. We went they purchased uh canes for lunch, and so it was basically my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Um and I need to check my blood sugar at some point today. But I want to drink some more water because I am really dehydrated from being sick and just sleeping all the time. I am going to do that. So with my mental health, I haven't seen the therapist in a bit because she's on vacation. So it's going to be like over a month's time before I see her. But I might switch therapists because, I don't know. I just feel like it's far for one. It's out of pocket. And I just feel like think I need to talk to somebody who is gay, who understands the LGBTQ stuff, especially when it comes to exes and you're still friends with exes, because some things have come up and I've been working on it with a no, I have working on. I don't know what to say. How it is. It's a falling out, a misunderstanding with a friend, and I'm working through it because I stood up for myself. And you know, when you stand up for yourself, you feel like shit sometimes when you've been in abusive relationships your whole life. Because I felt like that before, and So recently I stood up for myself, and I didn't mean for it to come out the way that it did. I was supposed to talk to the person about the way that they made me feel, and it came out all wrong because it was in the heat of the moment, and because, ADHD, you have emotion regulation issues. So I just fucking started crying. I was like, you make me feel this way, and it was not good. And, so that's something that I am working on, is emotion regulation, which is kind of hard when, you are going through a lot. And I have another therapist, though, that I've been talking to, and they're like, well, we can discuss certain things, and I will help you through these things. And we'll see what I'm going to do, because I think I really need to talk to somebody who's part of the LGBTQ. You know what I mean? Happy Pride Month for those who are part of the LGBTQ. You know what I mean? But I did record an episode a couple weeks ago, and I just haven't posted it because guess what? I am a fucking flake. Hey, it's not like I'm trying to. Just fucking school started, and I am trying really hard. And then, like, when I have my downtime, I have my downtime, and it's just, I need to see, this is the whole fucking ADHD thing. And autism thing. I do really good with schedules. Like, all my life, I did good with fucking routine, on time, doing shit, fucking doing it, going to school, doing the things, and then here comes the ADHD in me, and it's like, yep, routine sucks. Let's throw it out the window. So that's why I'm going to go and get a diagnosis of my odd HD. You know what I mean if you're listening. So yeah, I am working on me. So, with my therapist, when she told me that before I started dating, I need to fix my ADHD, I think she can suck it. Because I was talking to other therapists, and I was like, this is what my therapist said. And they were like, well, you can take what she says, but you don't really have to, because what we do is give you advice. And so, it is your own personal decisions of what you want to do. And because how are you supposed to, I don't know, keep your feelings? Well, I've been doing really good with my feelings, right? I've been keeping them to myself without telling the person that I've had a crush on for a while anything. Because the reason why I haven't said anything is because of the whole thing, where, like, I'm working on myself, and if you start dating somebody when you're working on yourself, what position are you going to be put in? And then you think about it, and it's like, there is no good time for you to fucking start dating somebody. It's just like there is no good time to have a child. You just take life by the balls and you do it. So that is what is happening in the life of this big ball of me. I'm working really hard on everything. And I'm working hard on friendships and trying to get out of the house more. And because I've really become a recluse when it comes to things, only because, like, I'm working from home and I'm doing school, and I'm not really drinking at all. Like, the last time I had a beer was a couple weeks ago, and that was because I did some hard work, so I had a beer. And before that was my niece's wedding, so I'm doing really good with this not drinking, because I really don't feel the need or the urge or anything like that. But I started a couple of groups on Facebook with my friends. Well, I started the groups and I invited my friends. So one of them is for accountability for exercising. and the other one is a book club. So I think those things are going really well. The person picked a book this month, and it is LGBTQ related, and I need to fucking post in there and be like, Happy Pride Month. I'm glad that our person that recommended this one picked this book because it's LGBTQ, blah, 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 blah. So I'm really excited about all the things that I'm doing on the side, and this podcast also needs to be put into the priority of the things that I do for myself. Even my therapist said that this is good for me because it's about talking out loud about things, and so that's what I need to do. And if you're listening, thank you for listening. I do appreciate you being a follower of moi. Um, but what are you doing for yourself for Pride Month? So I have dated too many people who have not been had to worry about the gayness. Like, they've come into the entitlement of you have gay for you and you already have this for you, because people like myself and people who I've dated in the past have been out since we were younger. I'm not saying that it's bad for them that they've come out later in life. They're late bloomers at all. I'm just saying they're coming into a time where we had music that we held on to. We had movies that we held on to because they were us fighting for us to have movies and the music. Now everything's mainstream for fucking queerness. And it wasn't for us in the 90s and early 2000s or in the 80s even. It was not mainstream. And so now it's mainstream. Your queerness can be mainstream. And you know what I did notice? None of the uh, logos on Facebook, usually they change the first of the month. No one has. I don't have seen none at all. I checked before I came on because I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I don't see anybody with changing of their little rainbows. So that was a surprise. This is the first year, and I'm wondering if it's because it is guess what it is, you guys? Dun, 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 dun. A voting year, election time. Because a lot of people don't do shit when it's election time because they keep it to themselves. Fucking posers. Fuck y'all. Rock and roll. Fight for your right. But they're not going to. Weird, right? I think it is, because last year everybody fucking turned the flag on. Like, flag. Nobody's doing it now. So, Target is even having only certain areas have the rainbow stuff. I haven't gone to Target in a bit, so I think I'm gonna go check sometime this week maybe. I'm supposed to go to town this weekend, but I also have the Alanis Morissette concert on Sunday. So I need to figure that shit out. What I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna drive myself up and then rush home. I need to figure that out. I really want to go with my familia up north. All right, well, that's what's going on in this life of mine. Just the same old, same old. Working on myself, working on my life, trying to be a better human, trying to stand up for myself, trying to make sense of it all. And just for those out there that have never listened to this podcast, I am a queer Latina in Phoenix, Arizona. I own this podcast and other podcasts. And this one is just focused on health, mental health, and physical health, because I'm on this journey, because I've been on it since I left a horrible marriage. And I was in an abusive marriage with abusive children and abusive partner. And it is all coming to collective now with therapy, and Alexa is talking. One moment, please. Alexa, stop. She's telling me about the weather every day at 6:30. Sorry. But I left a horrible marriage with abusers. Her and her kids were abusers, and the great thing about it is talking about it to somebody and they confirm it. And so, like, I'm not making it up in my head because that is my truth. And that's what I'm saying, homie. Anyhow, that's about me. I am a student. and I'm going to school for psychology and criminal justice. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go for my master's degree. And then after that, I really do want to get my PhD. So I'm working on these goals to do these things, to be stuff, do things that I love, really want to do. Trying to decide which route I want to go because there's different routes that I can go. I can go into clinical, um, counseling, education, or criminal justice. I'm trying to decide because I was like really considering becoming a lawyer. I was like, why the fuck not? Why don't I become a judge? Let's do some of this. There isn't anything really in my background except leaving a fucking horrible marriage. That's the only thing that's on record. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Gordita on a Mission. I do appreciate you listening, and you can listen to my other podcast, which is called, um, oh my god, Roosevelt Rebel. I haven't done any podcasts on that channel yet, in a bit because it's been a crazy son of a fucking 4 years. Let's just be real. But please tune in for next time because I will be putting out another one soon. It was supposed to be, 2 weeks ago I was supposed to put it out, but then I got sick all, ugh, I just need to fucking schedule. Unless, you know what? I'm going to do that. I have my schedule. I'm going to schedule this because I was doing really good with my fucking routine. I was working, going to the gym, coming home and eating, taking a shower, going to bed, doing it all over again. And I was getting it and getting it and getting it. And now I need to get it again. But first I need to get this fucking lungs under control and then I can start exercising again. So thank you for tuning in to this channel. Gordita on a mission. Please check me out on all the fucking platforms. We have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have Instagram. And I am on Facebook, OG_TR Beltran. On Facebook, Tisa Beltran, Tisa Beltran. But you can also check out TR Beltran. That's where I do a lot of my posting. But that posting comes from Instagram, from OG_TR Beltran. And then there's _rebel_riot_ on Instagram. I don't post much because I'm busy with this crazy life, but I'm working on it. Once this semester's over, maybe I'll take a break from school. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.